Welcome back to the Muse and Bloom, and here is the 2026 video. What does that say? AIF? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Today I have Lucian. Lucian is a handsome, hardworking cowboy who loves and works well with animals, especially horses. He has a number of talents. He's really smart, he has a good sense of humor, and he's a mastermind at board games. He loves coffee, cuddles, and country music. He's my beloved cowboy. We've been together for almost 3 months, and we've been friends for 1 year and 5 months. In this video, I'm going to be sharing about courtship, our views on it, and about our love story so far. I hope this video inspires, encourages, informs, and helps anyone in any part of their love story. Even if you're married, there are base lessons in courtship that are applied in marriage. Sometimes when we're searching for the one to love for the rest of our lives, we start naming adjectives and traits we know the perfect person will be. While it's good to have standards, actually it's really important to have standards, but it's unrealistic to try finding someone who checks every box because people aren't perfect. And another thing is that basing our love for someone completely on appearance is not a strong base. You need to focus on the heart of someone if you want to be with them. So before we get carried away on emotion, notice the heart and actions of the person. How does he or she treat his or her family? How does he or she treat people in general? How does he or she treat God? It's important to focus first on the inside of a person to find a gentle and quiet spirit, precious to God, because your relationship is supposed to lead to marriage, and if not, a breakup. And there's the poison truck.
Perfect timing, as always.
We actually chased the poison truck out of the park one time. We chased it down the street yelling at it. If someone isn't the kind of person you could see yourself marrying, you shouldn't be courting them. Focus on the heart and intention, because beauty and style fade. Common interests change, but the fruits of the Spirit last. 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7 is a must-read. When I wrote 6 things I wanted my future husband to be, I didn't write one thing about his appearance. Respectful, caring about my boundaries, respecting me and my limits. Sweet, caring about just doing special things for me with his whole heart. Smart, good judgment, wisdom, and I was kind of hoping he'd be good at math. Funny, a good sense of humor, someone I could laugh with, someone who could make me smile. Loyalty matters to me. I really wanted to be someone's one and only, and for him to love me and only me. Fatherly, someone who would like to raise children and raise them properly, lovingly, and firmly, guiding them. In modern dating, people date when they're bored or when they want to feel happy. When they're bored and unhappy again, they go find someone else. This is wrong because you are tying a knot with other people and aren't finding what you're looking for because you're busy basing it on feeling. This is why in courtship we base it on the heart first of all. I'm not saying physical attraction doesn't matter, because it really does. Just don't base your whole romance on good looks. I'm also not saying it's against the rules to court multiple people. Before courtship, just keep things friendly with guys and girls. Just be nice and not insensitive, because you someday might realize that you like each other. Then you might begin a courtship. It's okay to have a friend date with guys and girls, just as friends, until you do want to make the promise to court and eventually marry. In courtship, you have the responsibility of being a respectful and loving person. When you hold someone's heart, you do hold quite a responsibility. So once you're friends and you like each other and you have committed to courtship, I believe setting boundaries right there as part of the commitment is important. When I committed to courting my beloved, I gave him 10 commitments, including several boundaries. I will break down the key boundary, which is intimacy, or actions of reproductive results that are completely and under no circumstances allowed in courtship. God created us in His image. He gave us the power to create our own images with intimacy so we can create children. This is significant because humans hold an incredible power. Yes, it's common and most people do it, but do they see the true beauty in it? Do they value the amount of creative power and incredible creative energy? It is a process of connecting on levels that only couples can connect on. It's a process of creation given as a reflection of God's creative power. God tells us it somehow reflects who He is. It is divine and sacred. It is a grand passion of connecting and creation. Most people set the boundary thinking, because you don't want to get pregnant in high school or you might not be together forever. But these are shallow reasons compared to the spiritual side of things. Another note is the reason for waiting for that connection, because you should love and care about the us you are creating by committing to another person. You become a couple. Us, we, ours. You should care about protecting that to keep the connection, the spiritual connection, as pure as possible. It's not so much about kids on accident or too early. I actually don't believe about accidents. Accidents are not a thing. They're literally not. You should just, it's deeper than that. It is that also, but it's deeply about what it does to your spirit when you use the power improperly out of the boundary it's been set for. I don't want to harm us, our spirits. That's my reason, because it's important to protect me and my partner spiritually. You should care with all your being to serve God and honor Him in your relationship by obeying His rules here. And not only that, but to give you the highest quality of love in your relationship and in your romance. You should care deeply for each other's spirits. I want nothing more than to protect them. Enjoy being single. I know some people will sigh and feel their hearts ache as they imagine enjoying that loneliness, that longing, the daydreaming of someday. When I was little, falling in love was an inevitable someday idea. As I got older, around 12, romance became a thrilling prospect. I had a couple puppy love crushes and quite a few cartoon and book characters that I admired, but eventually I just focused on finding Jesus. When I was 15, I set out to find Him, truly actually start a relationship with Him, to change myself, to be anew, to become who I wanted to be. Almost a year later, the spring before I turned 16, I started to feel that deep loneliness when I saw the birds chirping together over their mates and the cats cuddling with theirs. The location because there was a whole bunch of interruption up there.
That's
Ice cream truck and everything. Out at the park, I'd see couples so sweetly in love, I'd wish I had someone to hold my hand and walk with me too. I knew not all of them were true loves, but still, I wanted my true love. So I began praying deeply detailed prayers to bless my future husband. I'd stopped my romantic daydreams, filled my heart with Jesus, and rested in the peace of prayer. I felt I could wait years if I had to. I wasn't impatient anymore. One is a tiny bit cold. By the time I was almost 16, 3 days until my party, I asked God to show me my true love there. I met this young man there, and I first of all noticed how handsome he was. I said very few words to him, but I prayed hard about him afterwards. We hung out a few more times that year, and after the 4th visit, I started crushing on him. I used the time, though we were apart afterward, 7 months, to grow and prepare myself. I wondered and learned all I could of love in God's eyes. I wrote him a letter of adoration, and we hung out again shortly after. My letter explained that I liked him, but I wasn't ready for courtship. We continued hanging out, and then we started talking on Messenger. Eventually, at the end of September, I gave him my number, and we've been texting every day since then. He asked to court me in mid-October, and we began our courtship. Lucian, my beloved, is adding that you have to love each other. The simple explanation is to love someone you must truly care about who they are inside and out. As the roles go, how about ladies first? Women were made to be helpers to men, to nourish and nurture their partner and their children. When I became Lucian's partner, I fully realized what I was committing to. I want nothing more than to be his helper, the one standing beside him in everything that life throws at us. I want to provide and give and pour my love and every other fruit of the Spirit out on him. I think of special ways to show him how loved he is. The man's role is a provider and a protector. He helps take care of the big important things for the whole family and is meant to be the spiritual and mental leader. Lucian is, in my opinion, quite a good young man. He's everything I hoped and prayed for, and he surprises me by being more than I expected to. I found that he was not only interested in my struggles, but cared about them, making me feel like my feelings mattered, and helping me work through them. Between scripture, prayer, and talking with Lucian, I've gotten over a fear and found ways to enjoy less than fortunate situations, and I admire how reassuring he is. He's so kind and so sweet. It brings him joy to make me smile and laugh. He's always finding some really cute way to show his love for me. He's also really respectful, and he doesn't even hold my hand without offering first. The provider and the protector, the helper and the nurturer, they make a great team. Being in courtship, you won't fully realize how great that team works, because in marriage is where we really put to work. The excellent woman of Proverbs 31 is the example of what women should strive for and what men should search for in a woman. Now I'm going to explain some no-nos for courtship and other ways to mend it if they happen. Be yourself. Just be you. Don't offer to change anything about yourself just to make someone else love you. If someone says they'll love you if you do this or that, they probably don't love you. So don't be embarrassed about who you are, where you came from, who you want to be. It is a little bit cold. Don't ignore or allow certain faults or habits. If someone tells you they love you, but they lie or show any wicked signs over and over, yes, you can forgive, but no, you don't have to allow. In some cases, being mistreated is a completely valid reason to end a relationship. Discern what situation is on purpose, and don't ignore the instinct. The Holy Spirit is there. Don't refuse to learn from mistakes, but the catch is that when evaluating this sort of situation, you have to communicate about the issue and learn from it together. There are more, but I'm just going to focus on these few. I do advice for other situations. In all human relationships, never underestimate the power of everyday I love yous and everyday actions of saying I love you. It's actually really significant to say and show it. I say and show it every day, and I feel loved and loving every day. If being loving this way every day feels like a hard choice or chore, you may want to reconnect with where you came from together, find out where you first fell in love. That should help throw some logs on the fire of love. I have never had this issue of finding it difficult to show love, and I've never really been amidst the stress and exhaust, but I know it happens, and I know how to mend it. In courtship, it's easy to believe you won't ever have this issue. I truly can't see it occurring. But if it ever does, later on, I will re-examine my daily schedule and make some room, especially for showing love. Couples, especially in deeper relationships and married couples, find issues building up by simply not finding time for fun and for flirting. It's amazing what just a few compliments a day can do for your relationship. Love each other, compliment each other. Make it a habit during courtship to simply say, "That color looks great on you," or "You're looking really beautiful today." Don't forget to compliment things beyond the surface as well. "I love your kind heart," or "I love how thoughtful you are." Notice the things inside and out that you love and tell each other so. Make this a habit in courtship. It will benefit you both whenever you are married. You do a good job with that, right?
I feel like we do.
Like every single day. I have so much more advice, but I couldn't possibly put it all into the same video, so this is where the video will be ending. I can do more, and I most likely will, because sharing my relationship advice is something I'm very fond of. I want everyone to have the chance to find and use these lessons to find true happiness, true passion, and true love that lasts.